This is Toni Globis with Fanatics and the Fan, and I'm at Library Con here in Springfield Library Center, Springfield, Missouri. And I'm here with our ever-famous cosplayer, Miss Ringo, and she is sitting here at the Heroes Alliance of Missouri table. Could you tell us a little bit about the Heroes Alliance?
Yeah, it's a charity organization. We help to raise money for various charity groups. It's a nonprofit organization, and it's for, people who want to dress as superheroes and make children smile. It's a very great program.
So the group that goes out and does some of the video game releases and some of the movie releases, is that all you guys, or is that just a culmination of people?
Like when we did the GameStop release for the new Arkham Knight, that was just kind of a group of friends that just happened to have all, Batman costumes. Usually the Heroes Alliance only does, the charity work.
The charity events, like the Superhero March of Dimes, things
yes,
like that, is things that you
Casa
guys are involved
Fun
in.
Run and
so
all that.
If I wanted to get involved in the Heroes Alliance of Missouri, how do I get in contact?
You would go to the Heroes Alliance website. They have an application form. You would list, what area you're in, what characters you have for the costumes, and just tell a little bit about yourself. Then they will send it to your local area leader, and they'll do a background check because they want to make sure the people at these events are safe for the events, and then they will contact you.
And does it, to be a part of I know it says Hero Alliance, to be a part of the Hero Alliance, does it have to be a superhero, or is it hero as in somebody you look up to?
With Heroes Alliance specifically, it has to be DC or Marvel.
DC or Marvel. Mm-hmm. Okay. So for those of you who are interested, Heroes Alliance of Missouri is a non-for-profit group that brings smiles to kids' faces at charity events and venues and things like that. Miss Ringo is also a star Southern Missouri cosplayer. I've seen her at every event that I've been to in the last year and a half. I follow her on Facebook. She is a fabulous cosplayer. I myself am a costumer as well, and I am always impressed with the things she has and the pictures she puts up. And if you get a chance to follow her on Facebook, it's Kawaii Ringo?
Yes.
Facebook. What are you dressed as today?
Today I am Bulma from Dragon Ball. It's a very casual, comfortable costume for a hot day in the summer.
Your favorite cosplay that you have done?
Almost any of my Zeldas, specifically Skyward Sword Zelda. She holds a special place in my heart. She's probably the only version of Zelda that has a personality. She's a very fun person, and I just really like the character.
And as far as putting that costume together, was that something that you started from scratch, or did you build off of a base already?
That was my first from scratch costume. That's the one that kind of taught me how to sew and make props.
And so in that costume, do you have a lot of what I like to call creative obstacles that didn't necessarily go right, that you had to just kind of make work?
Yes, the harp is made from foam, and it's the really thick styrofoam, and trying to sand that was so hard because if you're not careful with the type of sandpaper you use, you're taking chunks off of the foam, and that was really scary.
As far as cosplaying, do you limit yourself in any way? I know with cosplay they say you shouldn't limit yourself, that you should do what you want and blah, 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 and be comfortable and be happy. And I personally am a short person. I don't necessarily like to cosplay tall people because I feel inferior if I try to, and that's just kind of a personal thing. And is there anything that you're afraid to cosplay, or that you...
I don't necessarily have a fear of any characters. I'll just do what I want to do, my favorite from any series. I do like to go more towards babyface characters because I kind of have this little chubby baby face.
No, you have beautiful features. And you have very nice light skin. You could build off of that easily.
Yeah, that's true.
And so your hair and makeup, you do your own?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us do. That's good. And as far as base supplies for cosplay, for people who are getting started, what would be a good arsenal to have?
Craft foam, it's pretty easy to use. It's very cheap, very easily accessible. When you're trying to learn to sew, I would definitely buy the cheap scrap fabrics. and just kind of work with that and play around with, patterns and all that. I usually would say keep a hot glue gun with you, especially, because some things can happen. Safety pins are helpful at the conventions in case something falls apart.
So the people who go around as the cosplay fixers, that cosplay
yes.
as the cosplay fixers, those people are amazing, are they not?
I love them. That is the best idea.
I would love to be one. I mean, I know it would take a lot, but I personally would love to go to a con as one of those people. As far as, your cosplay arsenal is bigger than mine, if not as big or whatever. But do you have like an ultimate character that you would just do one day eventually? I personally have a couple in my head that just kind of live there.
Since I have an obsession with The Legend of Zelda, I want to make every version of Zelda my go-to version right now. I have two that I really want to do. I want to get started on Hyrule Warriors Zelda, and I know that's going to be one of the more complicated ones with all this floating armor, and there's a lot of sewing to it, making a corset, things that I really haven't done much before as far as sewing goes. And then I want to make the armor from Spirit Tracks too, so that's going to be a tough one.
So do you find sometimes that when you have the costume idea in your head, do you find that it's easier sometimes to just give up on an idea and move past it if it's not actually doable in real life?
Whenever I get a concept, I try to sketch things out, figure out what I can do, what I can make for certain parts of the costume. I don't necessarily just scrap the idea altogether. I might put it off for a while and talk to some other people and just kind of get some ideas on how they might do it, and just, kind of brainstorm on that until I can figure it out.
Well, I appreciate your time, Miss Ringo, and we're going to let you go here. We've got some other interviews we need to get around and do. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being out here at LibraryCon.